Good morning, this is Dwight. I always have to shift. I don't know. I think it's see myself and my joy. It's fun to just see how happy I am that it is reflected in and how much I love myself. It's reflected in my face, my being. So it's just just nice. This morning I'm feeling kind of more like a teaching kind of meditation. Um, in last night's letter on Christ Letters, we read an article of urgent message from Christ, and it's a transcription following 9/11, and Christ, of course, is saying, there's the way that you have handled this, and there's a better way, and I'm here to give you the better way, and if you would try this better way, you would find, wow, it really works. We really can have peace. All it takes is seeking that highest possibility that can bring resolve to any problem and be interactive with it. So it's just, I will include this in my email, chapelinthesky@aol.com. If you're interested in getting in touch with me or Christ Letters or anything to do, organizations, not organizations, we're communities. We might be communities of 4 to 6 to 200, who knows, to 1,000, to 1,000,000, who knows, all around the world, but we're individualized communities of the individualized Christ, or the universal Christ. And together, wow, this is so great. Together we form one collective consciousness, because our vibrational energies, for all of us, you're involved in this vibrational energy as well, as I am with yours, because there's no place where it ends. It's everywhere present. So we're all affected by one another's energy. And as we know this is so great, because it's what Christ's urgent message was about, kind of. I think it's just so great to know that if our president and Saddam Hussein, I think it was George W. Bush, but I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure it was, and Saddam Hussein, if they could have communicated, their needs, their desires in some way, and responded like one, I don't know, one just writes an agreement of what they want, and the other can, have at that agreement, just like a contract. I thought when I was in Fredericksburg, Virginia, living, and it seemed to be very still Civil War consciousness. And I thought, wow, what would have happened if a group of citizens from the South who wanted to separate from the country, what would have happened if the president said, yeah, okay, that's cool, we're of different mindsets, so yeah, you do that, and let's live in harmony, and how can we serve you, and how can you serve us, how can we make this a mutually benefiting procedure? And then I thought, wow, what would have happened if our colonies had gone to the King of England and said, we would like to establish our own country. You birthed us, you're like our parent, and we'd like to start a new way of governing ourselves. And the king says, okay, you can do that, because we're going to allow you to do that, and you won't be a part of our kingdom, then we expect you to support us financially. And we could say, yeah, that's fine, that's all fair. So can you see how Christ's way, and it's not, Christ's way is just what we're calling it, because Christ has given us the absolute truth that already exists within us. That's what makes us so powerful. The Christ of us is already awake, alive, alert. It's one with the Father, and the Father is the creator of all that is. So when we tell this Father we want to create a world of peace, the Father says, here's how you do it right. In this moment, this is what you should say. or this is to be silent, or it's a time to teach, or it's time to ask permission to teach, or it's time to just be quiet, time to listen, time to agree, time to disagree with respect. So, and to me, this is all what authenticity is. Authenticity is being honest to ourselves, being true to myself, to ourselves. I use my a lot because I make this very personal, because it's all my opinions, my understanding, and each of us have our own. And together, we're all making up the one. We're we're all like pieces in a puzzle making the picture. Yeah. And each of us have a collective consciousness of us that our portion of the picture is going to look this way. And as we see, as I see, a lot of centers of these segments of these pictures popping up, I see these communities expanding just consciously. We don't have to do anything in the physical. Just energetically, we bring up the consciousness around us. And it's easy, it's effortless, it's harmonious, because it's a transition, like watching a tadpole become a frog. What a beautiful experience for a child. That's the way this creation works. That's the way our consciousness is working. We come in as tadpoles, as an egg, and then a tadpole. And we go through this process of becoming the adult, the mature adult. And in this process, it may take lifetimes, it's a plural, or we can do it in 40 days and 40 nights, as Jesus did in the desert. All it is finding, being open to finding the truth that makes us free. What is that? That's why I go back to my friend Jesus. What is the one truth that makes me free? There are probably many of them, but the first one that stands out to me is, of myself I do nothing. The words of my mouth are not mine. The healings are not mine. I have just allowed the Father of me to express itself fully through me. That's all I've done. I become one with the Father. I become one with the power. I become one with the intelligence. I become one with the knower, the knowing creator, the intelligent creator that knows how to move the illusion of dis-ease into the reality of perfect health, perfect well-being. And it's not done physically, it's done consciously. Thank you. We see the physical results, but it's all done consciously. That's why I contend that we, with the right consciousness, we can live our body as long as we want to, because our consciousness is in charge, not the body. The body is just the consciousness expressing itself. And if Dwight Colby Smith wants to be here on this plane of existence for 2,000 years, I believe the consciousness knows how to make this happen. And that I will make all the decisions and choices based not on my third dimensional plane, I need to hear this, but from the fifth dimensional plane. this brings and has brought me into the awareness of the civilization of Lemurian people, who to some may be a myth, to me is a reality. A civilization of people that used to live on the Earth's surface, who during some war-type conflict with Atlantis, the continent was sunk. Several, I think it was 25,000 only, but it may have been 250,000, but anyway, some number of Lemurian people who lived in peace and harmony and what we would say is Christ's way, all that I've been explaining, moved, had tunnels, had prepared tunnels, because they knew this was coming, had prepared tunnels under the Earth's surface to live and exist and continue their living. So they keep talking about they are living in the fifth dimension. And I'm thinking, well, what about the fourth dimension? What about the fourth dimension? And there's no discussion of fourth dimensions, third dimension, fifth dimension. And so what I've come to understand or accept or believe, I don't know if it's true, feels true, is that the fourth dimension is where we can choose to be in the third dimensional consciousness or the fifth dimensional consciousness. So that's the dimension of choosing between lower and higher, what Christ calls the ego, or the highest expression of our being is the ego of us in the Christ way. That's the way I see it. I see the ego as this tadpole, that the truth of us already exists within us, the Christ of us, the knowingness, the God of us. It's all knowing. It's the I am of its own universe, however big or small we see it. But God sees it all as one. So, wow, more tangents. That's why it's so difficult for me to write my meditations. My meditations are reprogramming. Excuse me. My meditations are programming or reprogramming. I've been given all these thoughts of like, I like to think of myself as the little boy in the story of the Emperor's New Clothes that says the king, he's naked as the day he was born. The only one brave enough to speak through the illusion. And then when he spoke, he made all the others aware of, oh yeah, I've been fooled, I've been hoodwinked. And that quickly everyone saw that the king was naked. So this was Jesus' attempt over 2,000 years ago. He wanted to say, brothers and sisters, what you're looking for is already within you. I say that with a confidence of knowing and knowing that I know, because Tom and I are so fortunate to be such like mind that our energies just embody and fold and are infused from the universal Christ energy. We're just so one with it. And so, if we all could do this, and all of this is being true to yourself, who am I? I guess that's the first question to answer. And I ask that question many, 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 many times. I'm always getting the same answer, but it's in so many different ways it comes. I am God in expression. I am the creator of my life, my world, my affairs, my everything. And if I don't like what I've created, there's that within me that can create it differently or find resolve within myself that I'm not resisting or hating or reacting to it. This is the power of love. It's the power of Christ. this is what you want, please keep listening to these meditations. I know they can be not smooth because I'm not polished, but I am authentic. And that makes me very proud. I've always been proud of my integrity, my honesty. My first wife divorced me because she said, I know you're like an open book. And frankly, I'm bored. I thought, wow. I just could not conceive of that kind of response. To me, to know somebody is knowing myself. To know somebody is the greatest respect we can give to them because we've listened to them, we've heard them, we've felt them. So I tell my Science of Mind 3 students when I teach practitioner level class that you can say anything to me that you want to say. You can challenge me in any way. You think I'm not being authentic or I'm not being true to what I'm teaching, whatever it is. Because in you doing that helps me learn something more about myself and love that more about myself. And I don't have to be in agreement with that, nor do I have to argue with it. I just have to listen to it and see if this is fit. Is this something that will make me more loving and therefore more happy? That's my only goal is happiness. And I found love is the ultimate of happiness. Because there's no conditions with it. There's no restrictions. There's no expectancies. I still at times experience disappointments. And those are for me to heal what caused the disappointment. What gives me the right to tell someone they can't be themselves? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I know that after the fact, it's very healing, very healthy, but there are times that something will come in and it's like that little burp that comes up in conversation sometimes. I'm questioning how to share what I want to share. On last night's call of Christ's letters that I began with, I think. Urgent message from Christ. We had a burp in our communication. I think I already told you this. See, this is my mind just a lot. What do I want to say? Because that's all about the authenticity. Yeah, it just comes back full circle. That's where I began. About the authenticity. All of us following that meeting were in authenticity. And this is the Christ way. And it's exactly what the urgent message from Christ was all about. Just a summation. And then going to meditate. This is like a teaching that I really want because there's no magic in Jesus. I think that's one of the problems. We think God is a magician. You know, poof, there's day one. Poof, there's day two. Poof, there's day three. So, and it's like, whew, okay, I'm done. I need a break. God's not a magician. God's a consciousness, intelligence, expressing itself with purpose, with function. And creating the environment for it to exist as whatever entity it is, from an atom to a galaxy, individualized consciousness. This calls it love and intelligence, intelligent love. Yin and yang all the way through, masculine and feminine, idea form, and everything in between. through a system of law. These letters are so clear, they can so free us, but only as individuals. And the individuals make them clear. Correlate that to one of the beautiful freedoms we have in America to vote. Each one of our votes count. And out of 200 votes, there's 70 that are for the same thing. We change our nation. We change our state. We change our community. Marianne Williamson was saying this in a talk she gave in Richmond, Virginia, January 6th of 2018. Her desire, my desire, our desire, many in the world's desire is peace on earth. There are other paths to this peace. Religious science, science of mind, to me was and is an incredible experience to know I am God. I am the Creator. Christ of Jesus is a Christ of me. My thoughts with feelings create. My world is what I create it to be. My thoughts can create something different for me, beginning with my body. That's very powerful. That says we, all of us believe this and we all want peace on earth. We will have peace on earth. But then Christ's letters come through, not a but, and. As I'm saying, find a path. If you have passion for our world, it doesn't have to be serious. It's all play. Life is playful. We see Jesus as this pious individual. He was cool. He was relaxed. He was calm. He was God in expression. He didn't even have to yell, and he was heard. So anyway, Christ's way takes us to all that New Thought teachers and many other groups teach independence of there's only oneness, there's no separation between God and its creation. Get involved in it. Get in the community of it. Be nourished and nurtured by it. And also be a nurturer and a nourisher. For this is our goal. In a book by Leo Biscaglia, I saw the quote of, "We are all angels with one wing. We need each other to fly." During my between marriages, I put an ad in a personal ad, and it was a Jonathan Livingston Seagull seeking a female, Jonathan female, to fly through life with. You know the story of Jonathan Livingston Seagull. It's about finding the Christ within you, to be different, to not go with the flock, to stand out, to stand alone. And this is what Thelma and I have attracted to each other. So I just say this, that we live, we create friendships and support and everything. So, and we're just here to teach and to share and to be anything that can help our world. We want people to be happy. We know this is what we all want. And the way to it is to be ourselves. Who am I? Ask that. Meditate on it. And listen with those inner ears. Listen in the stillness and the silence. Let it be revealed. Don't be actively looking for it, just be actively listening for it to just pop in. At least this is the way it works for me. If if you haven't tried this approach and don't have an approach, then I invite you to try it and see if it works. I'm going to stop here and meditate. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being, thank you for openness. Thank you for you being a part of bringing forth the kingdom of heaven on earth in 2018. My deepest, deepest respect and appreciation, and the universe's appreciation through. Have a blessed day, a blessed week, a blessed month, a blessed year.